Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your Saturday. I'm looking forward to teaching you a really fun, easy project. This one's going to go by pretty quickly, but it's cool because you can really kind of use this in a lot of different ways. So I'm looking forward to showing this one to you. I hope that you enjoy it. So for those of you who have never taken a class from me before or don't know me, my name is Sara Lovecraft. I'm a designer for Beadalon. And wire is my love language, and that's a lot of what the classes that I teach are wire related. And that's exactly what today's class is going to be. We're going to put together a really easy small section of do-it-yourself chain made from 18 gauge wire. And as we're putting this together, I'm hoping to inspire you and show you some other ways that you can incorporate this into your other jewelry designs. So I'm going to get you turned around and we are going to get started right now. Right, so we are literally making a section of chain out of 18 gauge wire. This is just part of the sample for what where we're going to go with this. We're actually only making these 3 links, and then we're going to add some dangles to this. But from teaching you these 3 links and a couple of just, simple techniques, I think you're going to see how you can use this, how you can adjust this and adapt this to turn this into other things. So that's kind of where we're going. Let me show you the materials that you're going to need. So you're going to need some 18 gauge wire. I've got 3 pieces of 18 gauge wire. You need about 6 inches for these. And the German style wire is my wire of choice for this. I just find that it holds its shape much better than the artistic wire does because we're making large loops, and you definitely want those loops to be nice and sturdy. You're also going to need some head pins, or you can pre-make your own head pins if you want to. I just like to grab mine from Michael's and have some on hand. And then you're going to need a little bit of chain to make the length of your necklace. However, if you feel like you want to continue this chain, instead of using small chain, you can bead an entire, or wire wrap, I should say, an entire necklace instead of just the front section like we're going to do. So the length part is up to you. You can use this little chain. You can make your own chain. You can use leather if you want to. You've got lots of options. And then as far as the beads, I'm using these really cool Starfish beads and then some of these round beads that have the little rhinestones in them. This is a fun project that you can use any bead that you want to. You don't have to use these. I feel like we're like in the dog days of summer. It's coming to a close, school starting in some places here in just a few weeks. And I'm not quite ready. I don't know if everybody else is. I'm ready to let go of the heat, but I'm not really ready to let go of the vacation feeling yet. And so some beachy jewelry is always a nice touch, a nice way to carry your vacation with you, even if you have got to kind of like get back to real life. And that's what these beads remind me of. Obviously the Starfish here, and then these really cool clay beads that just have these really awesome patterns on them. I also have a couple of seed beads here. I'm going to use these because the clay beads do have a very large hole. So I need these seed beads as a stopper bead when I put these onto head pins. I just chose some of these clear with the AB finish so that they don't really distract from the overall design, but you can use whatever seed bead you want to. And if you're using a bead that has a nice small hole, you may not need them at all. Totally up to you. Okay. All right. Now, as far as our tools are concerned, we just need the basics. You're going to need your chain nose pliers. I always have 2 pairs, a pair of round nose pliers and a cutter tool, but then I'm also using the stepped bell making pliers. In the instructions, it says to use the second to largest. I'm actually going to use the largest today, but the cool part about this project is you can literally make these loops any size you want, and you can switch them up. So you don't even have to make them all the same size. You could do some of these smaller, some of them larger. There's a lot of options, and the stepped bell making pliers make that easy because you've got 6 different choices of sizes for your loops. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start out, like I said, this project's going to go by pretty quickly. So if you need to rewatch this, like it was said in the beginning, you've got 24 to 48 hours for it's uploaded, and then you can rewatch this as many times as you need to. All right, so I've got a 6-inch piece of the 18 gauge wire, and because I'm making a large loop, normally when I'm making like a regular size, just wrapped loop, I only need to come down on my wire about 1 inch. But for this, because I'm making a larger loop, I'm actually going to come down quite a bit. I want to come down like 2 inches, 2.5 inches, something like that. I'm going to grab the wire with my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to give the wire a bend. So we're not quite centered, but we're getting kind of close to the center of that piece. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my stepped bell making pliers. And like I said, you can use any size of the mandrels that you want to. In the instructions, it's the second to largest. Today, I'm going to use the largest. It's up to you. You can use the small ones if you want to. But we're going to treat this the exact same way we would just a regular wrapped loop. So I'm grabbing the wire just like I would if I were using my round nose pliers. And I'm going to take that wire and I'm going to go up and over the barrel of the pliers, whichever size it is that you're using. And then we still need to rotate the pliers because they're in the way to get that wire all the way over to the other side. Now I'm going to leave it on the tool to do the wire wrapping. So I'm going to do about 3 wire wraps. And then I'm going to take that off the tool. So you've got yourself a nice large loop. These loops are really cool. Okay, I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and I'm going to trim off the excess. And then I'm going to thread on one of these starfish beads. Okay, so that's going to sit right in the middle. And then I'm going to make another loop just like the one that we made down here on this side. I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers and grab the wire, and I need to bend the wire over the top because we still need that space for our wraps, right? So I got to be sure that I'm bending the wire over the top of the pliers. Then when I take those away, I still have that space there. That's going to give me all the room that I need to make my wrapped loops. I'm going to come in with my stepped bell making pliers again, and you can see I'm holding the wire just like I would if I were using round nose pliers, and again taking the wire up and over. Okay, now it's just a little different this time because we do have a bead in the way now, but I'm going to rotate around so I can close up that loop, and I'm going to switch hands, and I'm going to wire wrap in that space between the loop and the top of our bead. Okay, so we have our little beaded link here with just some really large loops. I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, trim off the excess, and we've got a really cute little beaded link. And you can make a ton of these to make your own chains, which is exactly what we're doing. We're just making a very small 3-link section here, but you can use these smaller or larger. You can make full necklaces out of them. You can make bracelets out of them. Very, very cool little technique. And it's something that you probably are already doing. If you know how to make wrapped loops with your round nose pliers, this is the exact same technique, just on a little bit bigger scale. And that makes it a little bit more versatile because you can change it up, right? All right, so we're going to create the next link in this. We're going to take another piece. We're taking another 6-inch piece of our 18 gauge wire. And I'm going to start out the exact same way. I'm going to come down on the wire about 2.5 to 3 inches, and I'm going to bend the wire. Okay, and again, I'm going to come in with my stepped bell making pliers, grabbing the wire just like I would with round nose pliers. Take that wire up and over the barrel that you're going to use, and then rotate so that you can close up that loop. Now, before you close up that loop, we want to wrap this directly to the last link. So don't do your wire wraps yet. Take the tail end of that wire, stick it through one of the loops of the previous piece, and then just slide those two together. Okay, now I can't put this back onto my tool because now I have wire hanging in it. So I can come in with my bent chain nose pliers, and I'm holding on like right at the edge. You can see I'm holding on right where that wire is crossing over. That's going to help me to make sure that I don't mess up this circle, right? I don't want to destroy the shape of the loop. So I'm holding with my bent chain nose pliers and then using my fingers to do the wire wraps. I'm holding everything nice and steady Then when I let go, you can see those two loops are wire wrapped together, and I'm gonna come in with my cutter and trim off. And now we're ready to add another bead. So I'm going to bring in another one of these Starfish. Thread my Starfish bead on, and then we're just going to follow the exact same steps. Grabbing the wire where it is exiting the bead, we're going to bend it over the top of the pliers. Then I'm going to come in with the step to bell making pliers. We're going up and over. Rotate, take the pliers over to the other side, and then I'm going to switch hands, and I can leave this on the tool this time and do my wire wraps. Oh, my bead's kind of coming apart a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off. And if for some reason your wraps are, I don't know if you can tell or not, but these wraps got a little separated, but you can always kind of come in with your pliers. See how there's some spacing there? Just give it a squeeze and you can tidy that up, right? All of those little things can be cleaned up afterwards. So I don't sweat those small things too much as I'm working. Always just come back in and close up the spaces there and make that nice and neat. So there's two. We're going to do one more. So I'm going to take my last piece of my 18 gauge wire, and we're following the same steps, coming down on that wire about 2.5, 3 inches. Give the wire a bend. Coming in with the step to bell making pliers. I'm going to go up and over. We need to rotate the pliers. That's just moving all of the tool from the bottom to the top so that I can take that wire over to the other side. I take it off of the tool so that I can wrap it directly to the previous one. So take the tail end of that wire, stick it through the loop, and then just slide those two together. And then again, I like to hold with my bent chain nose pliers as close to the wires where they are crossing as possible. And then do your wire wraps. If you need to use your pliers to help you, you can. And then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off the excess. Okay, and we're ready to thread on another bead. So there's our Starfish. And then we're going to do another loop. Bending the wire over the pliers. Bringing in the stepped bell making pliers. And up and over. Rotate, take the wire over to the other side. And then I want to do the wire wrapping. All right. Okay, so there we go. We've got those loops. We're going to come in with our cutter tool. We're going to trim off. And we're only using these 3 links for our necklace, but like I mentioned before, you can do as many of these as you want to make your own chains. So you could sit and make a ton of these and make a full necklace out of them if you want to. You can make bracelets out of these. You can make just single ones and add an ear wire to the top and a dangle to the bottom. The little links are very, very versatile. You can do so many different things with them, and you can change up the entire look of this just by changing up the size of the loops. So all of our loops are the exact same size. We use the same mandrel for all of them. However, if you wanted to kind of change this up, like I said, you could do one of them a large loop, one of them a small loop, make one of them a medium-sized loop, and then another small one. So you really can like change this up and give this some extra dimension and texture just by changing up the size of the loops. And the stepped bell making pliers, of course, give you 6 options. So you've got plenty of sizes to choose from. All right, so now I want to add dangles to this because that's just one of my favorite things to do to add in jewelry, and they're simple and it's a really cool way to just add a little extra pizzazz to whatever you are working on. So I'm going to take a head pin And for every loop, I'm going to hang a dangle from it. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these loops. So I need 6 head pins, and I'm going to do 6 beads. So I'm going to thread on a seed bead, just because my beads here have very large holes. And then I'm going to thread on one of the round beads with a little rhinestone. Okay, and I'm going to do a wrapped loop, but I'm going to wrap it directly to our chain. So we're going to get started with the wraps, grabbing the wire right where it is exiting the bead, bending the wire. We still need that room for the wire wraps. We're going to come in with our round nose pliers and take the wire up and over, rotate, and take the wire over to the other side. Now we want to wire wrap this directly, so don't do the wraps yet. Take it off of the tool, and then you want to just thread it on to one of your loops in your chain. And then again, I like to use that bent or those bent chain nose pliers to hold on to those loops. And then that way I can get in there and get those wire wraps. So I've got room for about 4 wire wraps. I'm going to come in with my cutter and trim off. We're just going to repeat this process. We're going to do this to every one of the loops in our handmade chain and just add a dangle from it. It just adds a little something extra. Right? So another head pin, thread on a seed bead, thread on another clay bead. We're just going to repeat that. So bending the wire over the pliers, bringing in the round nose pliers, up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then we're moving to the next loop. Just slide those 2 together. Grab that loop with your bent chain nose pliers, and you can do your wire wraps with your fingers or with your other pair of chain nose pliers if you want to. It's up to you. Sometimes I feel like I have more control if I use my chain nose pliers to do my wire wraps. And then we're going to trim off. Okay, on to the next. So a lot of repetition here, but that's fine, right? That's a great way to practice new skills. If you're not super confident or comfortable with your wrapped loops, this is a great one to practice those over and over again. So we're going to take that one. I'm going right over to the next loop. Thread that on. Bent chain nose pliers to hold everything, and then I'm kind of cupping everything. See how I cupped everything in my hand? That keeps everything from falling in front of me when I'm trying to do the wire wraps. So not only am I holding the handle of the tool, but I'm also holding all the rest of the bracelet, or not the bracelet, but the chain section as well. Could be a bracelet. Okay. Then every time I do it, I kind of lay everything back out just to kind of look. I'm looking at a lot of different things. I'm looking at the pattern here to see like what color I want next. I'm also looking to make sure that all my dangles are hanging on the same side. I don't want to accidentally pick this up and wire wrap the next bead onto this side, because then it's not all going to hang correctly. So I always kind of just lay everything down as I'm loading up my next head pin, just to kind of take a look and make sure everything is where I want it to be. Before I move on to the next bead. You've got 3 more to go. I'll try to zip through these a little bit faster since it is just kind of the same repetition. Bent chain nose pliers, then kind of cup everything in my hand. and then trimming off. You have to be careful with these clay beads when you're coming to trim off your wire, because you can accidentally cut that clay. You can see it kind of snagged it just a little bit. You got to be really, really careful because they are very soft. Okay, so we've got 2 more to go. These beads are so pretty. They look really pretty mixed with other rhinestone, like rhinestone spacers. They also look great with freshwater pearls. You can use pops of color by mixing them with some faceted glass. It's a really cool, fun bead. Okay. Right, we've got 1 more to go. So again, just kind of laying everything out. I want to be sure all of those dangle beads are all hanging in on the same side here. And then I'm going to decide color I want to use next. I'm going to put a green one down here. And I've got plenty of beads left over, by the way. It doesn't take a whole lot of beads. So I've got a lot left over to make other pieces. Or again, if I wanted to, you know, make this beaded chain or the wire wraps. I don't know why I have beaded on the brain. It is kind of beaded because there are beads in between each one of our loops, but our wire wrapped chain here, I've got plenty of beads so that I could make a longer section if I wanted to. So this is the last one. Been over. Take that, thread that on, and then do our last little bit of wire wrapping here. And this is basically it. So again, I just want to remind you, there are so many options with this. You can make it in different sizes. You can use different beads. You can do long lengths of this and make your own full-size necklaces, bracelets, whatever you want to with this technique. Or you can do it just like I'm doing here, and we're just going to use a little small section of it for the front of a necklace, and we're going to add some chain to this. Hold on, I feel like I've got it a little twisted. Right. And all we're going to do now is we're just going to add some jump rings and some chain. So the chain, you can pre-cut your chain to whatever length you want. Your necklace can be whatever length you want it to be. I'm just adding some hardware to the ends here. So 2 jump rings and a clasp. Those are already added, but you can add those on your own, and then just some jump rings to attach here. Now, if you wanted to forego the jump rings, you could also wire wrap your chain directly to this when you're making your first and your last link. Just slide on one of the links of the end of the chain, and then that way you don't have to use a jump ring at all if you don't want to. Totally up to you. Lots, like I said, lots and lots of options here. Okay. Flipping everything around here. Right. And then chain on the other end, and that's it. I'm going to put this on a bust so you can see what it looks like hanging. But that's basically it for our project. Even though it's a simple one, it turns out really cool, but there's lots and lots of other design possibilities with this, right? You've got lots of options. All right, I'm going to turn you around. And I'm going to grab a necklace bust so we can hang it and see what it looks like hanging. You do kind of have to play around with it a little bit because it can be a little tricky with how it wants to lay. I'm going to double my chain over here to make it a little bit shorter on the bust just so you can see it all. But my necklace, for me, I like to keep mine like right about 18 inches. But you do whatever, you know, length that you want. I'm going to shorten it up though for the bust so you can see it. It's just a playful, just a fun, playful necklace. Like, it doesn't take itself too seriously. There's a lot of movement going on. It's going to move around. It looks really cool, like layered up with other pieces. And it's got those really cool pops of color. You've got your starfish. So you still have like, you know, your vacation vibes if you're not quite ready to let that go yet. It's a lot of fun, and it's a really easy technique that I feel like you can really kind of use in a lot of different ways just by making some small adjustments to it. So I hope everybody has enjoyed this project. It was a fun one, just a quick and easy little inspiration for you for the weekend and into your next week. I've got another fun class coming up for you guys soon. Don't forget to check out all of the other Michael's classes, because if there is something that you want to learn, there is definitely a Michael's class for it. Not just jewelry making, there's a whole lot of others. In the meantime, I hope to see your pieces that you make. Use hashtag Make It With Michaels or hashtag Beadalon so that we can all see it and be inspired by your creativity. And until then, I'll see you guys again soon. Okay, thanks guys.